Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is the story of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers patch 5.55 Death Unto Dawn Part 2. Some time has passed since the heroes destroyed Lunar Bahamut, but in the meantime, the Alliance forces have been culling other lunar primals. More beast tribes are open to discussing peace with the people of Eorzea as well. At the Rising Stones, a messenger arrives inviting the heroes to another meeting in Alamigo. This one is about the Telophoroi Towers, and the beast tribes have been invited as well.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Khan Isena explains to the Ixal that the Telophoroi Towers are enslaving their people in service of summoning lunar primals, and their representative becomes enraged. The leaders of the beast tribes and the people of Eorzea discuss the difficulties and importance of stopping the lunar primals and destroying the towers. In the process, they unite against a common foe as the peace between people and the beast tribes continues to grow. Alphinaud points out that only people who resist tempering can approach these towers, and that if they can discover the source of ether powering these towers, maybe they can prevent the summonings from occurring at all. The Sultana notes that in the meantime they still need actual warriors to keep the enemies at bay, and the Amalja representative offers his forces.
Then let it be recorded that on this day the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
Outside, before Alphinaud says much, Khan Isena approaches and suggests the heroes visit the sylphs of the Ashcrown Consortium, as their experience trading with all the peoples of Eorzea gave them wisdom that would be useful for the new company. Alphinaud famously failed with his Grand Company years ago, and he offers to give guidance on what could go wrong as well. Moments later, Alphinaud speaks with Riol and other former members of the Crystal Braves to hear their perspectives. Then, as he's about to speak with the sylphs of Little Solace, an envoy from Sharlayan arrives and the Scions are asked to meet with Khan Isena right away. The envoy is Master Fortunault, Alphinaud and Alisaie's father.
Elder Seedsir, I thank you for granting me this audience. I am Fortunault Leveilleur, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortunault, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
They exchange friendly greetings, and Khan Isena honors Fortunault's father, the twins' grandfather, Louis-Soix. Fortunault is pleased, but mentions that he opposed his father's decision to intervene in Eorzea. The tone of the room shifts when he says his position hasn't changed, and Sharlayan still does not intend to help Eorzea.
Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
But he says this is hyperbole, and this is just a petty squabble between Eorzeans and Garleans. The twins plead with their father to change his mind. He gets angry and says it was a mistake to let them leave Sharlayan to begin with.
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
Khan Isena pleads with him one last time to stay, but he leaves, he and the twins filled with anger. Once he's gone, Khan Isena notes that speaking with him further would have accomplished nothing, because it's the decision of the whole Sharlayan Forum, not just Fortunault's. The hero's link pearl rings, and it's Kryl saying she tried to convince the Forum, but no one would listen to her. Grahatia suggests they may be hiding something, or maybe they have more knowledge about the final days. Kryl further notes that they are blocking her research on Hydaelyn as well. Anyway, she's still working on a way to secure entry for the heroes into Sharlayan. Just after the call, a Sylph emissary approaches, panicked, saying the Telophoroi have marched through Zelphatal on their way to Kurthus. Word comes that Aymeric has already dispatched forces, and the Telophoroi may be headed to the Cartano Flats. Fandaniel may have also been spotted. As the hero and Alphinaud are headed to the Cartano Flats, Fordola stops them and says there is something they must see right away.
Arenvold! I can't tell you how good it is to see you. It arrived a lot sooner than expected, eh? The day I craned my neck up at you.
Only because you're sitting down. Unless...
Afraid so. The chirurgeons say I may never walk again. Come on, Alfino, it could be worse. Besides, I didn't come here to dampen the mood. Quite the opposite. All I've ever wanted was to fight for a cause I believe in. But my fighting days are over. So I want you to fight in my stead. Be the hero I can't.
Alfino is discouraged, but Arnvald continues to encourage him. Alfino says goodbye and leaves, then Fordola speaks with Arnvald. She tells him that fighting isn't the only way to be a hero. He says if there is a way to help his friends, he's determined to find it. The heroes immediately proceed to the battle at the Cartano Flats. Alfino speaks to the other Scions and says it looks bleak, but they still have a chance of turning the battle in Eorzea's favor. The other Scions note that Alfino seems more determined after his conversation with Arnvald. Next, they charge into battle against Tempered Garleans and Magitech armor. A moment later, as Alice is working to cure the Tempered, Fandaniel appears and conjures a strange glyph in the air. Y'shtola can see the ether, and she senses a massive etheric confluence under the flats that Fandaniel may be trying to use to trigger some catastrophe. The heroes then face Lunar Odin and defend the confluence. Meanwhile, Grahatia and Alice face Lunar Ravana, and the hero, with Estinian and Alfino, face Lunar Ifrit. After the Lunar Primals are defeated, Fandaniel speaks to the hero.
And thus another plan went up in smoke. I am beginning to see why Lord Xenos thinks so highly of you.
He claims that this doesn't change anything, then he vanishes. Alfino is again discouraged as he fails to heal a dying Garlean. But looking around, he sees many other people being healed, and some being cured of tempering. The Amalja also give him encouragement.
You could do no more, and that is enough. So please hold your heads high.
Thank you for your kind words. They mean a lot.
A victory at great cost. But a victory nonetheless.
Then every person on the field is suddenly awestruck by the sight of the glowing moon. Later at the Rising Stones, Aymeric and the heroes consider this the first joint military operation of the Grand Company of Eorzea and call it a success. Then once again they agree the next task is to neutralize the towers by finding what powers them. Everyone agrees that, despite what Fortunal said earlier, Sharlayan is the best place to go to investigate further. Meanwhile, at the Garlean capital, Xenos stands with his new weapon, a scythe. Fandaniel approaches, thinking aloud about where they will get the ether they need for their plans, if not from the confluence.
Which does, of course, raise the question of where we are going to procure the requisite amount. The obvious solution would be to draw on resources a little closer to home, though that would require our dreamer to dream a trifle more deeply.
So be it. The dreamer will not complain.
Then let us begin the preparations at once. With the gateway of the gods complete, all that remains is to gather the necessary ether, and our prize shall be within reach. The time has come to fulfill your heart's desire, my desire! To relieve those wretched creatures of their meaningless existence!
While I await you,
I shall drink a sea of souls and gorge myself upon the darkened moon. Then you shall come to me, all roiling rage and rancor. And the stars shall bear witness to our final contest.
Back in Mordona, Y'shtola notes that the ethereal currents are disturbed, while others note that the same is true everywhere, and the ether is also much weaker than before. The twins report that it appears that the towers are drawing on the land's ether. Suddenly, Hydaelyn appears before the hero and gives him a dire warning.
The fate of the star is in your hands.
That concludes patch 5.55 and all of post-Shadowbringers. I hope you've enjoyed this recap. Check out the next video in this series, the recap of Endwalker. See you next time.